Hello, welcome to Conversations for the Moving Self. I am your host, Megan, a lifelong movement artist and facilitator. Each week, I invite you inside of the honest conversations that I have been having with some incredibly inspiring movement and well-being practitioners, as we unpack the beautiful roller coaster it is to pursue a lifestyle built around movement and well-being. Join us as we share and reflect on the moments where movement lights your soul on fire to the situations where you begin to question everything. So today I'm welcoming Mac Korda, who is originally from London, also has Croatian roots. We met in London Contemporary Dance School in 2020, and our journey together has just been so fun, always so invigorating. Mac also did an MA in dance performance after his BA and is now working with various artists from operas to working with Marina Abramovic at the moment to creating and producing his own events as well. I'm super excited to have the chance to have him on today and look forward to you all hearing this conversation. So today I am welcoming Mac Korda. Mac is a super special friend in my life. We trained together in London on our bachelor's at London Contemporary Dance School. But I think what really stood out to me when I was starting the podcast was wanting to invite guests on who just bring a energy that feels like we can keep all feeding the fire of movement and well-being careers. And yeah, every time I walk into a space with Mac, there's this sense of like balance between excitement for what we do and also being able to be quite human about what's going on in life and being able to show up on the spot and be authentic about that, and then how to work from that place. And yeah, I'm excited to catch up with Mac as well. He's been up to some cool things recently, doing the freelance life. And yeah, we haven't had a chance to catch up recently, so it will be nice to chat with him. And I'm excited to share this conversation with you all. Mac, let's start today with how you're showing up for your movement and well-being practices at the moment.
Uh, ooh, I don't know. I actually have no idea. I can't lie to you, especially like the last 2, 3 weeks, because it's been on and off, and then also after the summer as well. It's one of those
I
weird
think,
ones.
yeah, this is actually, I think it's really important though, like this concept of you've been in and out of a lot of different projects and
Mm,
also in summertime. And so how do you like calm down from that and have the moments of just being like, actually, I'm just existing.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because in terms of like location as well, you've been moving around a lot of different locations.
Yeah, I've been
How is that going? How are you feeling?
actually. It's cool. It's cool. It's nice. I think okay, the last month and a half specifically, it has been a lot of moving around. So it has just been a lot of just dropping in whenever I can. And also the context of where I've been from being like in a very small village where I kind of can train, but I'd rather do it like by myself in the middle of the night or like 1 in the morning where there's space and like I'm not really seen and I can kind of do my thing. And then from there into like the opposite end of the spectrum where there was a space constantly and like 30 other dancers to move with. And then back in London, when I'm like, okay, now I've got to go figure out what this is. And then, okay, now a project's starting, and then now the project's off. It really has just been like drop in whenever you can and kind of take it as it comes. There's no secret to doing it these last month and a half. I think before it's like, especially when I'm out of work, it's like, okay, I just know get to class. That's it. Wake up in the morning. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is like wake up in the morning. Um, I don't know why this reminded me, and I don't know if this is gonna be a bit, um, but especially when I was in Croatia, I was staying with my dad, and then he goes, every time I woke up in the morning, he goes, Do you know what Jordan Peterson says? He goes, make the bed in the morning and everything will be okay. Even, yeah, thumbs up. Make the bed in the morning, everything will be okay. And like, who cares that it's Jordan Peterson? Like, it doesn't really matter. But I think just the idea of, yeah, make the bed every morning. Great,
Yeah,
you've done something. Or like you woke up in the morning, or you maybe brush your teeth that day, or you don't. For me, I've
yeah,
been fine. Just wake up in the morning. Really, just wake up.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, it's the like the simplicity of it, but then equally like the complexity of it when you have this routine or lack thereof, like just even something as mundane as making the bed can like shift the whole day and also, yeah, bring a sense of routine somehow.
mm,
Yeah. And sometimes it's that first hump that you have
it's
to
a
get
weird
over
one. But
before.
also, I find routine a weird word.
Yeah, it's a horrible word.
It's a horrible word. Because like yesterday we've had like bad plumbing in the house as well. And I got sick of it. I was like, I'm gonna do it myself. I tried, attempted, it didn't work. But we'll still try it. And my older brother he came down, he joined. And he was like, and I was starting to get frustrated. I was like, yeah, we just need to do things, man. Like I'm sick of just being lazy. And I was going off and off and off. And he goes, bro, we just need a routine. I was like, no, we don't need a routine. We need to just do it. We need to just do it.
Yeah.
Because there's that
Yeah.
weird balance of sometimes like, yeah, it's nice to be like, okay, I'm waking up at 8 in the morning and I'm going to this class specifically, and then I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna go clean my house at that time and then do this. And it kind of just bogs it up, man. You just have to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like someone, I think I've even been recently thinking about it a lot with a shift in like lifestyle as well and how to give myself some sense of like stability, but equally like be able to just be like, I'm really tired this weekend. Like it's maybe the listening actually allows more growth or more peace of mind or whatever.
Mm.
But then equally, like when you feel the fire, like go fix the plumbing, go take the
Go
laundry
do
after
it.
this. And
Go get your hands dirty. Like,
yeah,
do it.
yeah. I think even I was saying to Mac before our call, I took a gymnastics class this morning. It was quite a spontaneous thing. And yeah, just getting out, and it was quite early in the morning as well. And so like getting out of the bed quite early, just doing it, but also moving my body. I halfway through was like, this I feel so like aligned again. And if I hadn't have done that for myself, I think my day would have started off
You
a
would
very
have been
different
in a
way.
completely different mind frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that context of yesterday as well, I'd gone to class that day. Like I woke up in the
Mm.
morning and I went to class, and mind you, like personally, it wasn't like the be all end all. Like this was the movement to change my life. It was literally just the most generic thing. It was not fun. It was nice, but the fact of just waking up, going there, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm out of the house. I'm doing something. It's also, I don't know if you've talked about this to anyone else, but I imagine you have, especially with people like us who just graduated, who are just out, who are still like, okay, I'm trying to figure out a career, but I'm also trying to figure out what it is to be an adult and a human being. Because it's all the
Mm.
different paces. You have those people who like living alone from the age of 15, 16. They moved out, gone to like boarding school, X, Y, Z has happened, and they know how to do it, bro. And they're just like, and then you got people
Yeah,
who shelter for a longer time. I'm not saying that in a negative way, it just is what it is. So you're just like, oh yeah, wait, I do need to
a
do
100%.
something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, what becomes like expected of you subconscious, not like as in self-imposed, like when the adult life kind of comes back in and it's like, oh, I've got to do all these other things, like then maybe the way that movement or pursuing freelancing like looks becomes different when you also have to balance all the other
Hmm.
aspects of life. Actually, yeah, one of my students was asking me like how the transition is going here, and I was saying to her, yeah, it's going really well, but been here almost a month, and I think because of all the maintenance that the house needs, it doesn't feel like that. Um,
Mm.
in the way that maybe I would have like, I think I was imposing some sort of what I need to accomplish within a certain amount of time because that's how my headspace works a lot of times, and the ability to step back and be like, this is also just as important, and it's okay to just let things evolve and shape themselves in the way that makes sense with life.
Mm.
Horrible sentence, but you know what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, maybe what I'm curious about next is like with your summer and the way that I think your schedule has gone. It's been like a balance of taking class and training and researching, but also being in projects and giving. And obviously, you still it's a giving and receiving process in both settings. But like, how has that been? How's your life feeling? How's your cup feeling in terms of like being able to outpour versus receive information in a dance setting, maybe?
Do you mean more like just overall in general and specific to projects?
I guess overall in general, but maybe it's also me lacking the. Okay, maybe tell us a little bit about your summer, and then we go from there.
Yeah. So for the month and a half, 2 months before the holiday, I was doing opera, which was very little movement, but I was doing an opera. I was a choir at some point. That's a whole story. Um, then I was like frantically, as I was in the opera, trying to fill the gap between that and the next project, which was the event stuff that I'm producing for. But I couldn't fill that, so I just didn't. I couldn't, so I didn't.
Yeah,
And then it was like hit August, and I was like, there's now like no chance I'm gonna fill this with work. Like I'm not gonna stay in London for the summer. I never do anyway. You can't stay in this city.
bad month to be in London.
In general anyway, you can't like don't
Yeah,
if
super
you're in a
true.
city like London, don't stay for
You
longer
can
than 10
stay.
months. Like otherwise it will eat you alive and because it's like a machine. It really is.
Yeah.
So yeah, ran away for 3 weeks. I actually met a dancer in Croatia that was from Berlin. It was really weird. And she was quite
Oh,
young and she was asking me like, "Oh yeah, how do you dance? How do you get into this? How do you get to that?" I was like, "Why are you asking me about it?" I don't know.
yeah,
Like
buddy.
let's
You
like
have
come,
so
let's
much
just
stuff.
dance. Like let's just dance and then like
Yes.
we can do it the whole talky way. I think like with
Mm,
that thing specifically, because her father was a dancer as well and she was a dancer. And it was like yes, you can get the information from him, but the game changes so much that yes, you do need to get it from younger people. And I was explaining like, yeah, this is what I do. This is like how I move. This is X, Y, Z. This is how I think it's going. This is where I think the industry is going. But of course, by the time you finish training, most likely going to be different. So what's important is let's just like move, dude. Like we kind of just need to move together, appreciate what we have, and then you can make your decisions and you can go from there. Like I can help as much as I can, but especially being like 10 different countries away. You're in Germany, I'm in the UK. Like it's even that like there's so much difference. Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
that. And then got back. No, no, I went to Italy for a bit. I went to Italy for a bit because I was like, I need to train hardcore because I have an audition coming up. So I went to Italy. It was the
Mm,
best thing ever. Sick festival in Lecce. If anyone can go, it's amazing. The best
okay.
thing I've been to in my life. Very wholesome vibes, very good training. They got a free plug from
Love.
me, whatever. Went there to train, went to an audition, cut instantly, whatever. Had another week off and then started this project in Manchester. And then now it's like, been in rehearsal, now I'm a week off. I'm going
Yeah.
back up in next week. So it's been kind
Yeah.
of
Very
spotty,
self-starty.
which is
Yeah.
like on off, on off, on off, on off of like extreme intensity of like I'm definitely moving this week, and then I need to push to have that opportunity to move, and then it's given to me, and then I have to chase it, and then it's given, I have to chase. That's a
Yeah,
bit of a rundown the last 2 months, 3 months.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like an incredible summer, but equally, yeah, like hard to just, yeah, being super adaptable. And even like it made me think about location for you as well, like the different locations you were in and the different like familial connotations and like being out of your home for work and then coming back. It's like just, yeah, lots of being very open and willing to adjust and listening and yeah. Yeah. Also like what you were saying though about meeting the younger dancer in Croatia, like I think there's huge power in just getting in the studio and training. And I know that I'm one to overcomplicate things sometimes and sit there like stuck at a notebook or laptop being like, what is dance? How do I dance? What do I do? And it's like to come back to the body. I feel like that's the best gift you could have given that person.
Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that's all I knew how to give though. Because
Fair.
the answer, like the questions were very much like, what is going on right now? What companies do you think are
Mm,
cool? Like, what work are you doing? How are you getting work? And it's like, we all do it differently. I've been thinking about it a lot recently because also seeing, literally just before you jumped on the call, like, I was looking at um someone from RBA who was a year below who's working a lot more frequently than me, I'll say. And then I was kind of reflecting, like, oh, how are these people getting work? But then it's just like, no, don't go down that route. You're gonna end up in this weird space. We all get work
mm,
differently. We all do it differently. We all train differently. Like, there's no magic
yeah.
source, secret source. Because for some people, like agency work having an agent would be really useful. For me personally, I haven't attempted it, but I know it's not like my bread and butter, and I'm not the kind of personality to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do a commercial for Nike and be completely happy with it. Even it'd be great. Like it'd be a great payout at the end of the day, but
No, yeah. I also think, yeah, the industry definitely like latches onto these certain ideas at certain moments, and it feels very easy to go like, oh, is that what I'm meant to be doing? But then to be
Mhm.
able to reflect like, okay, yes, maybe it's good financially, or maybe it has these pros, but also like how is it actually feeding me personally? And that you can still be pursuing dance and it's not gonna look the same on everyone. Yeah, comparison, the big thing.
I mean,
And
it's always the thing.
oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking of like the way that comparison like evolves and then you think you have like an understanding of it and you're like, ah, okay, I know how to avoid this thing, and then something can switch you right back into it. And yeah, to just keep showing up and
Mm.
to
But
keep
like,
showing up and returning in.
mm. Yeah, of course.
What were you
I
gonna
mean,
say?
that's always the underline or the overline, whatever you want to call it. But just on comparison for 2 more milliseconds, it's all about when and where. It's all about dosage. As the famous Tina said, it's all about dosage. Everything is good for you, but in dosage. Like, it's sometimes you can be in that space of like, hey, I'm comparing myself to this dancer and I don't move like them, I don't work like them, or I haven't had enough of as many opportunities as them. And it can take you to that negative place. But then sometimes you gotta compare yourself. Sometimes you gotta be like, hey, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing X, Y,
Yeah.
Z? Or if it's not in that context, it could just be in like a class or whatever. Hey, that guy's doing something sick. I'm gonna do it, but better.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna do
Actually,
it but
yeah.
my way, if that's a nicer way of putting it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they have different meanings, but like, hey, I'm gonna do it as well, and this is my flavor of it, and then now you do it again, and
Yeah, no, I actually think this is super powerful and makes me think of the way that you operate in a class space because I think at least from taking class with you, I feel like you bring this sense of curiosity where I catch myself sometimes when I'm next to you going, why am I not trying it? Like I want to do that move. I probably should try it with my body instead of just being like, wow, that's so cool. I could wish I could do that. But it's the ability to compare and allow it to motivate you in a positive way.
Mm, mm,
Mm, very good. Very good. Actually, yeah, this is something I was interested in exploring with you is like I think the way that you enter spaces, like in a class setting, this is always present to me. I feel like even when I've spoken to you before class and you're on a lower day, but there's still like always this constant curiosity. And I've always been very inspired by it. And then recently I had the chance to take Mac's class for the first time. And I felt the same. Like I was left just being like, oh my gosh, I wish I could take it every day because there was just this uh, energy that was infectious, but in a way that also wasn't like at 1,000 all the time, but just, yeah, like pure uh, exploration, which I think is a really nice place to start. And I wondered how how your teaching practice is, what is coming up that you're really interested in at the minute, researching when teaching and or like physically, personally researching.
mm. I think in these last few weeks, days, months, whatever you want to call it, it's been finding the very narrow gap. It's tiny, for me at least, the way I perceive it, between like having technique and being a technical person and doing things the safe, correct way, or the things that have been taught to us, or X, Y, and Z, or the things that will are correct, and that complete fire in the eyes of just like because as I move personally, I know I've experienced pure energy and just fire and just enjoyment and just like but I've also experienced pure technique of just like, hey, and finding a way to thread that gap and to share that gap
Mm,
as well of like, hey, both is possible because what I experience a lot in this space with people is either they are constantly at one or the other, or it's just a flip between them. It's like, hey, this is me doing a technical thing, this is me doing something more fire, and I do the exact same as well. But I want there to be like a just a little,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's yeah, I think it's super interesting. I actually, yeah, I was speaking with some students this week of how to, yeah, similarly, like give them enough space to explore, but equally provide them with enough space for the technical side of things. And for me, I'm exploring it in the context of trying to also, I'm teaching in a setting that has a lot of different uh, previous exposures, but also a lot of different capacities that they're in the space each week. And
Mm,
so, in an hour and a half, how to achieve a nice balance for every, yeah, achieve a nice balance so that anyone, no matter the amount of class they had that week, can enter and feel like they walked away with a complete opportunity to train rather than being like, oh, okay, great, that was my technical class, and now I need to go freestyle for an hour in my bedroom to
mm.
fuel the joy or whatever. Mm, yeah,
It can be one,
it can be one. I
and it
think it
should
can
be
be.
one actually.
Yeah, I
It should be one.
100% agree. Yeah, I think when I was young, I definitely didn't have the like capacity to understand that it can be one. But
Mm.
the more we go, the more I'm like, but why not? Why
Yeah,
can't it
why
should be
not?
one
Exactly. Why
always?
can't I do this or why can't I do that? It's just like go, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I read an interesting quote, but obviously it's from Instagram Reels, as everything. I love this thing, his little sidebar. Everyone goes, I saw in the news today, or I read something cool today. Nah, mate, you're on fucking TikTok, whatever. Ah,
Definitely.
whatever. Anyway, I read an interesting quote the other day, which was embarrassment is an unexplored emotion, so explore it. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, Instagram, you're doing something. Damn,
Embarrassment is an
algorithm, what you
unexplored
doing?
emotion. Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really cool. That's really interesting. And I don't know what that means for me yet, but I know that I want to see what that means.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think about, I was training this weekend with some dancers here who I'd never met, and there was definitely the moment, like as I'm driving, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what if I embarrass myself? What if I do this? What if I do that?" And then it's like, but just go. Like you're never gonna start until you start. And my mom and I were talking about it afterwards, and she's like, "I'm just so proud of you for doing all these new things." And I was saying, like, I think because I'm in a new space, it's easier to sign up for the new things, and then it's how to
Mm.
actually carry out the action and uh, show up to the part where it gets embarrassing and let it happen. Because I think, yeah, I am at this moment right now where I'm, yeah, okay, I'll put it on my schedule. Yeah, that sounds cool. Like maybe it'll
Mm.
be fun. And then as it gets closer, the maybe a fear of embarrassment comes, and how to then enter the space and be like, actually, maybe it's quite nice to research both physically what happens when it feels embarrassing and also just emotionally.
Mm.
Mm.
But also to take charge of it as well
Yeah,
is important. But it's also a very different context for you, and it is a cool thing what you've done. You've gone to a completely different island where it's like it's gonna pop up more often.
yeah.
Those moments of like, hey, I'm in a new space, I'm in a new network, I'm in a new culture around what movement is. And
Mm-hmm.
I imagine you're more likely encountering and then
Yeah,
do you think it's easier to then like go to that because you've had those experiences in London, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah. I definitely think like there's a sense of like openness. I was talking with someone, I can't remember who, but someone recently about just like, because I'm in a new setting, there's this ability to almost like recreate my identity. And it's like obviously 99% of it stays, but like or maybe 95% of it stays, but there's this like 5% of, oh, but what if I was a gymnast? No, but
Hmm.
no, what actually, because it's all these, I think I'm finding it a nice opportunity to do the things that maybe in London, when I had this routine built around me now, and the stable network of people to turn to, that I was just not comfortable, because I don't think,
Maybe compliant.
yeah, yeah, maybe compliant is a very good word.
I think that's the use I'd word from
Yeah.
the use I'd word for myself is
Yeah.
compliant.
Yeah. Just a bit like, it's later. But
Right.
yeah, kind of okay, like, why wait? Why not
Mm.
get embarrassed now? Why not let it happen now so then I can get past it?
Yeah. But also I think it's much more useful and much more invigorating to and this is like the wording of it is not, but I'd rather I don't get caught embarrassed, but I give embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like I don't get caught off my toes and I'm like, oh no, you shouldn't see me like this. I'd rather like, hey, like I'm doing it and watch me like this because then I've taken control of it in some sort of sense. Not control as in like
Oh,
manipulating it,
but
but it's like, hey, look, I've
to
gotten into
empower
it and
you.
I'm doing the thing that I'm very uncomfortable in. I'm gonna give you a few quips of like, hey, I'm uncomfortable, or hey, I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. And then you can have a conversation, and then cool things happen. There was like a
Yeah.
moment I was in class like 2, 3 weeks ago. I couldn't, I'm gonna go to that same class again tomorrow. But I was like really in a weird space and like my knee was hurting. We were doing a weird move and I was like, I don't like this move. And I was like, I don't like this move. And then like because I said that, I was like, oh, what if we did this instead? So then it came to my brain. So I was like, hey, what is this? Is this possible? And the guy was like, yeah, it's possible. And I was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna do that then.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
becomes this whole different thing of like, hey, it like it doesn't even need to be like because especially also if you're in like tricking classes or classes with a lot of floor work or things that more people haven't experienced, like you usually get here's the first variation of a thing, here's the second variation, here's the third variation. But I think if you're able to then come out and say, okay, here's the th three options I've been given, let me give a fourth option that is, how do I say this?
Mm,
I don't think it's about giving another option for yourself. I think it's more about finding a way that it doesn't feel leveled down.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it, especially like I think it's very specific moments that this happens in, and it's also in class context a lot more often than anything else, where
Of
it's
course.
like, okay, here's the trick, here's the full like bells, whistles, explosions, fireworks. Let's take away the bells. This is just fireworks. Let's take away the fireworks. This is just a trick,
Bare bones.
like bare bones. And I think sometimes it's great, it's amazing, it's very necessary. But if we can find ways so it doesn't feel like you're taking away the bells and the fireworks and the whistles. It's like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
the bare bone, but it's still as beautiful as
Yeah.
the entire thing of what it could be, is in its entire gravitational potential.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's really hard to do that as a teacher as well as a student, because there are very few words to explain that in a short and precise time frame because you need to be short and
Yeah.
precise. Like, hey, look, we only have like 3 minutes to go over this thing before you're gonna do it in a phrase or before you're gonna do it in a choreography.
Yeah.
And rather than explaining, because I think everyone wants to explain this, like, hey, it's not any less or any more if
No.
you do different variations of it. But as a student, especially a younger student or someone less experienced, I think more often than not, it's going to be taken as, oh, this is a lesser version or this is
Yeah.
an inadequate version because I'm not this or I'm not that or I'm not this. Like it's very
Yeah.
easy to go into the I'm not strong enough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It makes me think about, is it even just returning to like the qualities that are being used or something? I don't know. Maybe I need to explore my own teaching practice this next chapter of life, but like, yeah, it does feel like a very specific wording, but then equally, yeah, I guess as a dancer in the space, how can you tap into that awareness when it's 3 minutes and the teacher doesn't explain it, but you can go, ah, this is actually offering me this quality rather than I'm lacking X, Y, or Z.
Which comes with experience and time, though.
Of course.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm sure if we had this conversation when we met 5 years ago, it would go completely like, yeah, I feel like I'm not strong enough, or I am this, or I am that. But after the time, it's just like, hey, look, I've been in enough of these contexts and I've kept doing it. And that's a completely different ball game. But
Yeah.
with time, with
Yeah.
anything, you are just gonna be like, bada booey, yeah.
Time to move.
Time,
Yeah.
time to boogie.
Yeah. Even like I have been working with all different ages the past couple of weeks, and one of the dancers recently had a knee injury, and we were trying to, I had put them in a position where we had 5 minutes to learn the phrase, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, here we go. And I said, just do it standing up for right now, and I'll come to you in a moment. And so we learned the sequence, whatever, is in and out of the floor quite a bit. And then once like went to speak to her, I was like, hang on, like actually, everybody, we're doing this up. we're
Mm.
all doing it off the floor as well because I think she's just discovered something, even without me saying anything, that will offer the rest of the class something quite nice. And I was impressed by like the brain's capacity, even at a younger age, to just be like able open to just riding the wave. But then equally, I could tell emotionally she was like, I don't know, I still feel like everyone else is doing less because of me, and da da da,
Uh,
and
but I
around
mean, with that thing of like the younger brain's capacity, I think in a lot of actually in any learning context, it's just superior.
uh-huh.
Because I mean,
Exactly.
like scientifically, it is just superior. As a younger brain, you're more like a sponge, and you inherently take in more information. As we
Yes.
grow, we get more set in our ways. And
Yeah.
like every teacher says, or
100%.
every person that you will or have encountered, they're all gonna say the phrase at some point, get playful with it, or be childlike with it,
Mm.
or be X
Mm.
with it, or be Y with it. And it's just like, yeah, you do need to be. You need to ha find your inner child and inner openness constantly. And this isn't just with movement, this is just in general
No,
in
of course.
life. Like that's such an important thing to hold on to.
Yeah. Not to take life so seriously.
It's not serious anyway.
No, exactly. Now I want to go dance.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I'm like ready. Let's go.
Dancing time. Okay. Maybe actually this is the question I'll close on is after we've spoken, like how would you like to show up for your movement and well-being practice today, tomorrow, this week,
Yeah,
whenever?
this week, whatever. Um, I think I want to do. It's hard to say. I would like to do. Like, for example, right now in this moment, I 100% would love to just go and to move right now. But also, I know I might not be able to.
Mm,
There might not be the opportunity to. Like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at those classes, and I know already there's no space where I can move other people. Or, okay, I'm gonna go look at if there's a studio space. Most likely, it's all booked out. Um, so I don't know. Let's
yeah,
see what happens. I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's just about rolling with the punches and going for it.
Think about listening,
I
patience.
guess. But also, that's a tricky question, dude.
I know. Sorry
I don't know. That's
for
completely fine
laughing.
because it's a very valid one and it is very important. But yeah, it is like sometimes things just line up and like, yeah, it's great. I have the chance to, or I have the emotional energy or the physical energy or the physical capacity to just move in my kitchen or just move outside. And then sometimes I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to the park and do a little morning form, whatever you want to call it, and be watched by all
Yeah.
these dog walkers. I don't want to be watched right now. Like,
No,
I'd rather be in the
no,
studio, but I can't afford it, or there is no space, or this or that. And
definitely.
yeah, it just is what it is sometimes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I think I find with with a lot of space in my schedule, and sometimes I get very like, oh, okay, what do I do? And I have all these ideas, and then it goes to like maybe nothing happening and being able to just be like, it is what it is. It's okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
But also be careful, not is what it is. Also, it isn't what
Oh
it
yeah.
is.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
How can you
crazy
make
thing
your
about it. This is
schedule?
my favorite thing. I'm gonna keep you a bit longer just so I can talk about this for a second.
I'm enjoying
Um, oh my God. Something for me that I've been exploring the last 6 months to a year, maybe even longer now, since I've graduated the master's at least, is being both yes and no, and being true to both those things. Not just like I'm saying yes and I'm also thinking no, or I'm thinking no, but I'm also saying yes. But being both at the
it.
same
That's
time, I
hard.
think is so important to explore fully both the negative and the positive, to like really if you need to be negative.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm not doing good enough. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm this. But then as long as you have the positive at the exact same time, then it's okay. It's all about this, if we want to go there, yin yang. Like you need the dark to have the light, you need the light to have the dark.
of course.
Like,
Yeah,
hey, like I couldn't move today. I can say, yeah, it is what it is, or no, it's not what it is. Like, why didn't I do that? How do I change it? And I think that's
yeah,
what then creates change to do something.
yes,
Because if
yes.
you constantly like, oh, here's the positive, here's the like, yeah, it's great. Like I didn't get to train today. Okay. Or if you're in the other
But
spectrum,
tomorrow.
I didn't get to train today. Like it's you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, that happened, but now what do we do tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. Like there's some secret code you got to flash on my toes. Um,
Okay. There is some secret code and
there's
we'll
some
find it
secret
someday.
code, but also there's no secret code. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can
Yeah, just
complexify
balance.
and you can simplify as much as you want. And I
Yeah,
think exploring the most simplistic forms and the most complex way to do it and doing both and like sliding that scale up and down constantly is what makes this enjoyable. And then you
yeah,
can also like pull that into artistic senses. Like if you watch a piece that's so simplistic that is beautiful or so complex that it's amazing, or like that's what makes it interesting rather than just
yeah, yeah. Some floating, some,
I'm moving.
yeah,
Ugh,
yeah, something's happening. Yeah,
something's happening.
yeah. Powerful stuff,
I guess.
big stuff, big stuff. Now I'm gonna go like stare at the sky for a bit and just think.
Hell yeah.
I think it's great. I think you've cracked the code. No, but it is really there's a lot of power in this concept. I think.
I think it's important. I think it's
Yeah.
really important to observe that.
Also, in terms of like longevity in your career and not getting burnt out and yeah. Thank you so much. I think we're gonna pause there.
It felt like five
I
minutes.
think I know time flies when you got good things to chat about. No, but
Time
it's
flies, we can
it's
talk about art, but not do it. Whoa.
and now we go to spend some prep time and then next.
Really?
But thank you so much.
No,
It's
thank you for
been
having me.
so nice to
Really.
catch up.
It's nice to chat. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. I was surprised. I was like, me? Me to
yeah,
have a
you.
conversation with the moving self?
Of course. No, I think so. No, thank you so much. And all the listeners, stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah. What
It'll be
episode
out
is
on all
this?
major
It's episode 5. We own
five.
the major platforms, Spotify, Apple
Yeah,
Music, SoundCloud. We're gonna get an
get it.
agent. Catch episode 6 next week. So,
Amazing. Thanks, Mac. That helps
look
actually. I don't
over.
have to do the closing today.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 5 of Conversations for the Moving Self with Mac Korda. Big thanks to him for joining today and for everyone for supporting. To continue to support, I invite you to share the podcast with someone that it makes you think of and comment down below something that you will take away from this episode and think on for some time. So that way we can continue to have these incredible conversations and share them with you all. Thank you so much and stay tuned for the next episode. Episodes are released every Saturday, guests are announced every Tuesday. Sending so much love and warmth from CMS.